So welcome back, or welcome to Yoga with Ciara. It's day 2 of promises. And so how did you get on? What did you decide? What have you committed to, or what inner conversation are you having right now? Is it that you promise not to make any more promises? Is it that you're committing to doing this yoga? Um, I just love this. I love the inner dialogue, the dialogue with all of you. I was texting the woman who told me that she remembered the offering, and I said, it's like all the yoga we have ever done is held in the collective body memory of us, and that whenever I need to remember something, it's like one of my parts, one of ye. Reflects back to me, oh, I remember this, or I have this insight. And suddenly I go, oh, yes, we know all we need to know. And if we just listen to each other, it's there. And so, yeah, I'm just really aware of the collectiveness of this collective knowing, this holding that we do for each other, that it's not like I know something and then I tell you. It's that I share back with you something that you shared with me before, that we share, that we share, that we share. How beautiful. So come lie on the floor. It's Sunday Yum. Sunday Yum is always on the floor. We roll around and then we will do the offering at the end. So come lie down. Is it Jung who talks about the collective oversoul? So I have a sense of a collective knowing of body that we share with each other. It's like in a beehive that we are all, that each of us are sharing, and the knowing is held as a unit of function. Whoa, so cool. So lying on the floor, knees are bent, feet are flat. And just settle yourself in onto the floor. So unpack your shoulders, wiggle your shoulders from side to side. Unpack your pelvis by finding and placing your pelvis on the floor. Find your feet. Nice. And then flatten your lower back down and then arch into your lower back. Flatten your lower back down and arch into your lower back. And as you move, as always, what does this moment present in sensations, in body awareness to you? Flattening down, arching. Flattening down and arching. Nice. Roll like there's a clock on the back of your pelvis. Rolling out anything that feels like it wants to be rolled out. And then roll in the other direction. Nice. Drop your arms overhead. Slowly get a sense of your armpits. Reaching your arms long. Flatten your lower back down into the floor. And then arch really high into your spine. So my chest is lifting up towards my chin, and I have a sense of really squishing my chin down onto my chest, but it's happening more so than me creating it. Arching your back and flattening your back, my chin lifts. Arching deeply, my chin drops. Flattening down, arching. Nice. One more time. Flattening down and arching. Nice. So come to a neutral spine and then drop both knees down to the right. Pause. Let your breath deepen into your belly. Nice. Come back up to center. Drop your knees down towards the left. Pause. And then rock your knees from side to side. If for any reason having your arms overhead is too strong for your arm, then bend your elbow to a way that feels comfortable. Always adapting, always finding your version of this movement as you rock your knees from right and all the way to the left. So the storm took down some huge trees in the garden, so I've started chopping them. It was really amazing. I can feel that in my shoulders right now that I was chopping trees yesterday. So just feel that through your body. What is it that you're remembering or connected to as you rock your knees from side to side? And let them be physical sensations. Go, oh, look there. I can feel it through the sides of my ribs, through my armpits. Nice. So arms are straight up overhead, and then roll over onto your right side and bring your left hand to rest on the floor in front of your chest, and bring both knees on top of each other, and both knees are at a 90-degree angle to your hips. From here, draw your left knee up so it taps into your left elbow, and then keeping your knee bent, try and touch the wall behind you and feel that your spine lengthens, that there's an opening through the belly, a lengthening through the front of the body. Draw your knee up towards your elbow, feel the deep folding or the rounding, and then draw your foot backwards. And so always in a Sunday Yum, there's this sense of how can I move smoother? How can I move slower? So what I find is that instead of just like swinging my leg up to bang into my knee, I'm moving incredibly slowly. So I just tap and really lightly on my knee, on my elbow, and then I travel back and touch really lightly behind me. So instead of like that kind of swinging into the end of range, I'm moving with great awareness into the end of my range. Nice. Now, bring your knee back to your knee. Pause for a moment. Cool. Then draw a big circle with your left knee in the air above you. And how do you draw that circle? What part of the circle really feels like it's engaging your belly or engaging your pelvis? Or keep your left hand flat on the floor as you draw the circle, and then circle in the other direction. Interesting. The circle moving backwards low, I find a much more satisfying circle for my hip. Moving back low, I have a clearer sense of the range, whereas moving back high, I tend to lose the range somewhere in it. Nice. So stretch your left leg long, and then reach your left arm long above your ears. So both arms are long above your head, and left leg is stretching super long. Stretch even more. So how would you let that left leg get longer? How would you let that left arm get longer? Nice. So you're going to meet up towards the ceiling. Bring your elbow and your knee together up towards the ceiling. And then stretch your leg long, stretch your arm long. Reach them out as far as you can. And I feel the right side is lifted off the floor in a bridge, slightly, a waist bridge. Nice. One more time. Bring your elbow up to your knee up to your elbow, up towards the ceiling. And then stretch long, creating a waist bridge with your left side stretching so much it lengthens into the right. Cool. So come back to center, bend your elbow, bend your knee, just pause. So the last one is called pendulum. What a great word. So if you've loads of space out in front of you, then you can keep your left arm straight as it reaches out in front of you. If you don't have much space in front of you, then just bring your fingers to the front of your left shoulder and reach with your left elbow bent. And then you have that same rolling. So what we're looking for is, so reach either forward with your left arm straight if you have loads of space, or bend your elbow and reach your elbow forward. And as you do this, you're going to roll towards your chest. And then sweep your left elbow back into lawnmower. So pull your elbow back and then draw your elbow back towards the floor. My head is still looking towards the right. Bring your elbow forward or straighten your arm out forward. And then pull your elbow back. And as I do this, I'm rolling across the right side of my rib cage. Is that the right side? Yes, it is the right side of my rib cage. Rolling your elbow back, touching the floor. Rolling your elbow forward. Nice. Now we're going to include the knees. As your elbow goes back, draw your knee up and forward. As your elbow goes forward, draw your foot back. As your elbow goes back, draw your knee forward. So pendulum is where The limbs are moving in opposite direction, which counterbalance each other or counterweight each other. So knee goes forward, elbow goes back, elbow goes forward, foot goes back. Knee goes forward, elbow goes back. Elbow goes forward, foot goes back. Nice. Come all the way back, land on the floor, pause. Can you feel the difference between one side of your body and the other? Like just in shape and texture and compression and contact. Nice. So I'm going to change sides so that you can see me clearly. Reach both arms overhead, knees are bent. Roll over onto your left side, lie on your left arm, and bring your two knees so they're straight out from your hips, and bring your right hand to the floor in front of you. Draw your right knee up so it taps your right elbow, and then reach your right foot behind you like you're trying to touch the wall behind you. And as you do this, so even the simplest of movements, we can find end of range in even the simplest of movements. So if you want to intensify, then just find a way of meeting the squeeze at the end of the range. Notice what your head does in relationship to your pelvis and your leg. Allow your head to move in a natural response to your pelvis. Nice, one more time. Draw a circle with your right knee. As you circle with your right knee, how do you draw a really full, smooth circle? So I've taken that information that I learned before, that I miss the very back of the movement when I'm doing the up and back circle. So now I'm including a very far back down sensation. If that makes sense. I was missing the back and down. I was doing a circle whereas actually it's not really a circle. It's like a square on the bottom because there's a straight bit and then a kind of a curve on the top. And then circle in the other direction. You'd have to be doing it to know what I mean. So I hope you know what I mean. So for me, there's this straight bit at the bottom of the range, and then I draw this kind of circle on the top, or a half circle on the top. Straight, and that back part of this straight is really satisfying for the opening of my hip. Nice. Come all the way back, pause, both knees together. Nice. And then reach your right leg long and your right arm long overhead and try and get as long as you can. So you're decompressing your hip and your pelvis by reaching. Reach a little bit more. And then up towards the ceiling, bring your elbow and your knee to touch. Stretch your leg long, super, super long, reaching out into your fingers, out into your toes. Super, super long. Like, how could you go even further? And elbow to your knee, knee to your elbow. Super. One last time. Stretchy, stretchy, long, super, super long. And coming all the way back, pause. Nice. So last movement on our sides. So if you've loads of space in front of you, then keep your arms straight, or I'm going to instruct it with your elbow bent. So draw your right elbow forward, and as you do that, you're going to roll your chest towards the floor a bit closer, your face a bit closer to the floor. And then pull your elbow back into lawn more and touch the floor behind you, but I'm keep looking towards the left as I do this. So my head stays in the same direction. Draw your elbow forward, touch. Draw your elbow back, touch. Draw your elbow forward, touch. Draw your elbow back, touch. Now we're going to counterweight that with our leg. So as our right elbow goes forward, our foot goes backwards. And as our elbow goes backwards, our knee comes up and forwards. So when my foot is moving, I can actually lean more into the movement because the weight of my legs supports a deeper twist. So my elbow going forward, I can actually go further. My elbow pulling back, I can go deeper. I have a sense of really being able to lean into the end of my range as I do this. One more time. Yeah, come all the way to your back. Pause. Soles of your feet together, knees apart. Just feel, sense, connect. I'm going to bring my hands to my belly, and as always, I'm going to walk my spine long away from my pelvis. So to do that, I push my elbows down, push my head down, and then walk my shoulders like a caterpillar away from my pelvis. And then tuck my head in and drop my elbows. Oh, my spine is long and flat on the floor. And just breathe into your belly. Breathing, slowing things down. Nice. So your thighs are like a book. Keep your elbows on the floor so your torso stays as it is. And then draw your right knee over to your left knee. Squeeze it down. And as I squeeze, I feel like this spiraling tea towel feeling through the right side of my waist, the right side of my hip. Soles of your feet together, knees apart. Pause in the center. And then take that left knee and spiral it over towards the right. Squeeze your knee down deeply. And I feel deep psoas working there, the obliques, the sense of the groin, the back of my hip, back to center. And then just travel from side to side. Have a moment of center, soles of your feet together, knees apart, and then squeeze your knee down in the opposite direction. Soles of your feet together, center, and squeeze your knee down. And as you're doing this, I'm going to bring my fingertips to the front of my shoulders. So I'm really conscious of keeping my shoulders where they are. So I'm not allowing my shoulders to lift up. Instead, I'm lengthening the side of my ribs to create this movement. Nice. One more time each side. Super cool. Wonderful. So roll all the way up into a seated position. Legs are long in front of you, and just roll into your ankles, big circles. And then roll in the other direction. Nice. So bring your left hand to the left, and then, actually, maybe we'll do it a different way. So bring your feet so they're as wide as maybe 2 feet apart, and then drop both knees down towards the right and have your hand down on the floor behind you to the right. And then come back to center. You can have both hands behind you, drop both knees to the left, and then turn your chest towards the left. Both hands behind you, turn towards the right. If you want, you can do this without your hands on the floor. If you do that, you have to counterweight by really rounding your spine and reaching your hands. So just travel from side to side. Maybe you have one hand on the floor. See, what do you do? How do you do this? How do you travel one side to the other side? Nice. Stretch your legs out long, roll into your ankles again. Roll into your shoulders at the same time. Wiggle your eyebrows. When I wiggle my eyebrows, my feet get really confused. So can you roll your feet, roll your shoulders and your eyebrows at the same time? And then roll in the other direction. I've reached my threshold. Great, so hands on your thighs and then slowly turn your head towards the left and just feel it through the side of your neck. See something shiny, something that's reflective, something that brings you joy. I have a beautiful plant here. It's really very beautiful. It's a pennyworth plant. Very nice. Come back to center and then turn your head towards the right. And I have looking south. So east is that way, so I can't actually see the sunrise. Thank you for the picture yesterday. But I can see that there's loads of light in the sky, which is really amazing. Super. Make fists out of your hands, roll your wrists, open and close your toes, wiggle your eyebrows. Oh, this I can do. And then roll your wrists in the other direction, keep wiggling your toes, wiggle your eyebrows. Nice, cool. So seated position, whichever one suits you, either on a chair, on the floor with your legs straight, legs crossed if you wish, with a support under your bum, and bring your palms in front of your heart and just pause and feel. Deepen your breath into your belly and just have a feeling of weight through your body, breath in your body, the inner spaces of you. Nice. So reach your arms forward, bring your thumb and forefinger to touch. So there's this sense of a grabbing motion, and then pull wide with your arms. And as you pull wide, open your chest, lean into your heart. Turn your wrists back to front, and it's quite a strong turn into the wrist. So I'm really extending my wrists as I do this. And then I bring the backs of my hands together, scoop towards my heart, and offer forth. Really feel that offering. Thumb and forefinger touch down. Turn your hands so the backs of your hands are coming together. Scoop towards your belly, all that you feel, all your deep knowing. Nice. Thumb and forefinger touch high. Back of your hands. Scoop, heart. Offer. Thumb and forefinger down. Back of your hands. Belly. Offer. Thumb and forefinger high, back of your hands, scoop towards your heart, offer. Thumb and forefinger down, back of your hands, belly, offer. One more time. Thumb and forefinger high, back of your hands, scoop towards your heart, offer. Thumb and forefinger down, back of your hands, belly, offer. Pause, holding something precious. Something tentative. Sense of magical thinking. Feel something awesome in your hands. And then gather that in and draw it in and bring your hands either into palms together or hands to your heart. Nice. So come lie down. Lie on your back. You can have the soles of your feet together if you wish. You can have your feet flat You can have your legs straight as you wish. How wonderful. Nice, nice Sunday yum. Nice. I can feel all that wood chopping yesterday. Great. So nice. Oh, yum, yum. So as I said the other day, we will need tins by Wednesday, but Monday, Tuesday, not so far. Okay. So really lovely to be here. I'm really enjoying the promises I'm making to myself, and that deep sense of, yeah, that inner dialogue with myself around what's important, what do I not do, not necessarily what more do I take on, but what do I not do for the next 21 days. And great, thanks for being here, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Slán, slán. Ciao.